Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by alphabet soup compliance frameworks, or if you're a business leader just trying to figure out how to prove your security posture to the market, you are in the exact right place. We're going to take these complex, sometimes dry security concepts and transform them into clear, actionable business strategies. Picture this scenario for a second. A mid-sized fintech CEO is sitting across the table, literally about to close a massive seven-figure enterprise deal. Everything is going perfectly, right? The product is a great fit, the pricing is dialed in, but then, bam, he's hit with this exact question on a vendor security questionnaire. When was your last independent security audit? And he didn't have an answer. Because of that single blank space, the entire deal evaporated. Poof, gone. Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today and map out how we can turn a daunting compliance checkbox into a massive competitive advantage. We'll cover the cost of no trust, define what an audit actually is, clarify the different assessment types, walk through the step-by-step process, look inside the report itself, and finally, show you how to get audit ready. All right, Section 1, the cost of no trust, and why trust matters. Let's explore why lacking verifiable trust is just so incredibly costly for modern business leaders.
It boils down to this. No audit means no trust. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, but hey, my organization is secure. We've got robust firewalls, multi-factor authentication everywhere, and a brilliant IT team. And honestly, that's fantastic. But to a prospective enterprise buyer, the absence of an audit simply means no trust. In their eyes, if you haven't been stress tested by an objective third party, doing business with you just carries an unacceptable level of risk. It's a total deal breaker.
Which brings us to Section 2. What is a security audit? Let's establish a clear, jargon-free baseline so we're all on the same page.
Let's define our terms here. A security audit is a systematic, independent examination of an organization's information systems, security controls, and policies against established standards. Think of it like a comprehensive, full-body health checkup for your organization's entire security posture. Just like a doctor reviews your blood work, your lifestyle, and your family history to get the whole picture of your health, an auditor examines your technical controls, your administrative policies, and your actual daily practices. Now, the absolutely crucial word here is independent. It provides that outside perspective that regulators and board members can actually take to the bank. Internal teams absolutely should be doing regular self-assessments, for sure. But naturally, they're subject to familiarity bias, internal political pressures, and just everyday organizational blind spots. An independent audit cuts through all that. It evaluates what actually exists in your environment, not just what your internal wiki says should exist. Section 3, Types of Security Assessments. Let's untangle some of this industry jargon and choose the right tool for the job. People mix these three up literally all the time, so let's break them down. A vulnerability assessment, that's like your regular health screening. It uses automated tools to basically catalog known weaknesses. A penetration test is more like a cardiac stress test. It's active, it's aggressive, and it tries to demonstrate real-world exploit paths hackers might use. But a security audit, that is your comprehensive physical exam. It looks at the big picture, evaluating your entire posture against frameworks like NIST or ISO. And the truth is, most healthy organizations eventually need all three. But if we zoom in strictly on the audits themselves, there are 5 core flavors you need to know about. There's the IT security audit, compliance audits like SOC 2 or ISO 27001, network security audits, application security audits, and cloud security audits. Now, if you have never done this before, don't panic. An overarching IT security audit provides the absolute best initial baseline. You want to get that lay of the land first before you dive into specialized stuff like cloud or heavy compliance. Moving on to Section 4, the step-by-step audit process. Let's open up the black box and see what you can actually expect. The whole process builds incredibly logically. It kicks off with scoping and documentation, basically figuring out exactly what is and isn't being evaluated. Then, the auditors roll up their sleeves for the technical assessment. Step 3 is personnel interviews, because, well, they need to verify that your staff actually knows and follows the rules. Step 4 is evidence validation. Every single finding has to be backed by hard proof. Then comes analysis and reporting, wrapping up with remediation support to help you fix whatever gaps they found. Which brings us nicely to Section 5, inside the audit report. What tangible value do you actually get to hold in your hands when the auditors pack up and leave? A successful audit is not just some giant 200-page paperweight.
It's a prioritized, highly actionable roadmap. Check out what you actually get: an executive summary tailored for the C-suite, a detailed technical findings report for your engineers to dig into, a highly visual risk heat map, a compliance gap matrix, and the full evidence package. But the absolute crown jewel here? It's the prioritized remediation roadmap. It explicitly sequences what you need to fix right now, in 30 days, in 90 days, and 6 months out.
All right, Section 6, how to be audit ready. Because let me tell you, preparation is the key to everything here. This checklist is your secret weapon to preventing a massive business disruption. First, gather all your policies and network diagrams way before the auditors arrive. Second, do a quick internal self-assessment. Third, brief your key stakeholders so no one is caught off guard when interviewed. Fourth, please double-check that basic controls like logging and backups are actually turned on. And finally, clean up those dormant user accounts. Organizations that knock out these basics typically finish their audits 30 to 40% faster simply because they aren't paying auditors to chase down basic PDFs.
So, let's talk real return on investment. Remember that fintech CEO from our opening story? His team took their audit findings seriously and executed this exact timeline. Within 90 days, they remediated the initial gaps. 9 months later, they used that rock-solid foundation to achieve formal SOC 2 Type 2 certification. And just 6 months after that, the real payoff arrived. $4 million. Building that verifiable, demonstrable trust allowed them to close over $4 million in enterprise deals, deals that specifically required the exact security attestation they used to lack. Having a clean, independent audit heavily reduces friction in the sales cycle. It literally transforms security from an annoying IT expense into a direct, powerful revenue enabler. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Building verifiable trust isn't just some tedious IT chore anymore, it's an essential revenue driver. So, can your business really afford to skip this vital checkup? Think about those lost deals, the potential regulatory penalties, and the blind spots lurking in your own network. An independent security audit shines a floodlight into those dark corners and definitively proves your trustworthiness to the market. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this gives you a clear, strategic path forward for your own journey of trust.